Leslie Rutledge is a Republican Attorney General from Arkansas, and she joins me now. You wrote a very, very harsh article, I got to say. Some of the quotes, I hold the same office where these two began their career of corruption. Arkansas knows the Clintons best, and Donald Trump will win 60-40. Woo! What do you mean you know where they started their corruption? What do people in Arkansas know?
Well, for years in Arkansas, the Clintons conducted the same sort of practice and disregard for the rules that should apply to everyone that we have seen now with President Clinton and Secretary Clinton when he was in the White House, and while she has been Secretary of State and running for President of the United States. That Hillary Clinton, throughout her entire 30 years in the public light, has been riddled with scandal on top of scandal on top of scandal, and it's acts of her own choosing. She chose to have that server in her house. Her campaign manager chose to say, let's dump these emails. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what it's time to dump these emails means. That the American public's a lot smarter than the Clinton campaign's given them credit for.
Yeah, and when we see the emails and you kind of see the machinations going inside the campaign, you're reminded very much of what it was like when Bill Clinton was in office, and there was sort of one scandal after another, and they always said that it was a vast right-wing conspiracy. And, you know, to that extent, at this point, too, it's always, we're being persecuted, you know, this is made up. Right. You said she will lie even when the truth would serve her better. What's an example of that?
Well, I think an example is just what we have seen. Well, I don't remember, or I thought it was okay to have this email server, when she knew, in fact, it wasn't okay to have that email server. That we have seen time and again. Secretary Clinton will lie when the truth would serve her better. She had the opportunity when this server first came out, as was just stated, in March of 2015, to just set the record clean, bring everything out into the open. Instead, here we are now with Director Comey in the FBI finding 650,000 emails on a computer where her key aide had downloaded them onto a shared computer with her and her husband.
Yeah. You know, you're the Attorney General of Arkansas. There are a lot of people, you know, say to me, you know what, this is just how politics is. That we're seeing the inside of the campaign, but really all politicians are just as dirty as this. And this is how you get things done. How do you respond to people who say that, you know, in regard to everything the Clintons have done, and it's just business as usual?
Well, it is business as usual for the Clintons, but for many of us that are good, honest public servants, it is not. You know, I think that we should all abide by Dr. King's rule that the time is always right to do what is right. And it's a shame that the Clintons don't abide by that themselves. And, you know, hopefully the American public will know that it's time to keep America safe, to get our jobs growing again, our economy boosting. And that's why I think that we're going to see the trend continue over the next week with Mr. Trump surging, not just in the polls that are being taken over the phone and on emails, but the polls at the election booth.
All right, Attorney General Rutledge, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Wow.
Thank you.